If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to What a Creep, the show with Margot Donohue and Sonia Mansfield, talking about creeps from the past to the present.
This is your quick guide to the biggest creeps, jerks, assholes, and losers, the best of the worst.
From two nice ladies who want the world to be a little less creepy.
Welcome back to What a Creep. This is Margot Donohue, and my cohort and creepitude, as always, is the amazing Sonia Mansfield. Hey, Sonia.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. We are the podcast that talks about creeps from the past to the present. Today, we have a couple of creeps that were heartthrobs at one point in their lives, at hunky young actors.
Yeah, you probably saw them on your, Teen Beat magazine or whatever. What did it, Tiger Beat?
Tiger Beat. There's Teen Beat. There's, teen people and...
Oh, yeah.
They could have been there. But we're going to be talking about them. But just so you know, if this is your first time listening, we always end the show with somebody who is not a creep or something that is not creepy. So you feel a little bit better about the world. We know how tough that is these days, but we're doing our best, everybody. We're always looking for suggestions for creeps and non-creeps, and here are some great places you can find us. We're on Facebook. We have a basic Facebook page, but that's where people go to complain about our language. This is your warning. We use salty language in this program because we are goddamn adults.
Shit, fuck, damn.
There you go. On socials, we are at Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky. We're at What a Creep Podcast. And our email, it's an old-timey email, whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com. And if you would like some stickers, and I've had people send me their address, Sonia, and then I drop them in the mail, and then they get sent back to me. It's so bizarre.
What's up with that?
I don't know. But also, I have a new batch of stickers coming in soon. So if you're interested, email me. There was somebody, Jennifer, emailed. Jennifer, I sent you an email in Las Vegas. They couldn't find your number. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, if you want some stickers, I have some new stickers coming in. Send us give us your email. Give us your address via the email, whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com. Sonia, do you want to talk about the website?
Yeah, I love talking about the website. Go to whatacreeppodcast.com. It's everything you want to know about the podcast, but we're afraid to ask. You shouldn't be afraid to ask. But if you are, that's a great place to start. Go there. All of our episodes are linked there, and you can open up the little blog posts, and I have our show notes because we source everything we're doing. We're not making any of this stuff up. We want to give people credit for the work they do, digging up the dirt on these creeps. So go check them out. If you're looking for a deeper dive, fabulous place to start. We also have a link to our merch shop where you can get t-shirts and face masks and tote bags and all the things that you want with our logo on them. Or it might say creep or not a creep or a little cartoon us, whatever you want on it. Do that.
Or the high road can get fucked. That's my favorite.
Or yes, the high road can get fucked. Petty next exit.
That's my favorite sleep t-shirt.
I wear it to bed too. So soft. They are really soft. They're
ridiculously good t-shirts.
Yeah, I agree. There's also a link to our Patreon. You want to tell them about that, Margot?
Yes, Patreon. We are now in our season 28. We're almost closing out season 28.
What?
I know. We've been doing this for a little while now. So we decided we have our first 9 seasons on Patreon. That's for everybody who is a paying member of Patreon. If you pay for that, you get those 9 seasons. Plus, we put out 2 bonus episodes a month. And those episodes, we video them so you could see our pusses when we're talking.
Pusses.
When we're talking about news and things like that. It's super fun. But you can also sign up for free because sometimes what we're talking about, we have a digital component to it. We have a clip we can show or whatever that helps illustrate the story. Like we did Betty Broderick last week. And boy, y'all love those Betty Broderick clips. I put them on there. I've never on TikTok had as much engagement as I have with these Betty Broderick clips. So anyway.
Folks love a true crime.
Yeah, so you can sign up for free on Patreon if you want to. All right. I think that's everything, is it?
I think so.
All right, Sonia.
Shall we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Okay. Ricky Schroder, probably
Wake up,
best known.
champ! Wake up, champ! Champ! It's a movie called The Champ, y'all. It's John Voight plays a boxer, and Ricky Schroder is his son. And spoiler alert, he gets killed at the end in a boxing ring.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. And Ricky went into everybody's hearts because he was his beautiful little face. He was a little towhead kid. And he just said, wake up, champ. Wake up. Anyway.
He was a very gifted child actor. He was probably best known as Ricky on Silver Spoons. That's where I knew him from.
2 silver spoons together, you and I together. I like
so
me
we'll
a
be
good
talking
theme
about
song.
him. You do. And then we also have Fred Savage, probably best known as Kevin Arnold on The Wonder Years, or maybe the Grand.
Would you do if I sang out of tune?
Margot is such a good mimic. She is such a good mimic.
I'm punchy, y'all. I was up way too late last night watching an adolescent show on Netflix.
I had some Oreos and like a Diet Coke. I'm ready. So let's do it. He was also the grandson in The Princess Bride, and then he did movies like The Wizard and Little Monsters and, all
Vice
those
Versa.
things. Anyway. Yeah, that's right. One of the body switching movies.
I love Vice Versa.
We're very entertained by the body switching
movies. That's one of our things.
Yep. These two have a lot in common. Both successful child actors, and it turns out they're both total creeps.
Woo!
So I put them together. Trigger warning: domestic violence and sexual harassment. Yay!
Are those things bad, Sonia? I can't tell anymore.
No, I know, right?
Conor McGregor was at a presser at the White House.
I know!
We did an episode on this motherfucker just like a month ago.
Yep. Again, we're ahead of the curve, y'all. All the people that were like, who's that? Googled him, found our podcast. Welcome to the parties, pal. Welcome to the party. Okay, so sources for this episode. For Ricky Schroder, the sources are his very own Facebook, TMZ, Vanity Fair, Variety, Yahoo News, and Wikipedia. For Fred Savage, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, Page Six, Rolling Stone, Vulture, and always Wikipedia. All of this is linked in our show notes. I didn't make any of this up. Let's start with Ricky Schroder. Richard Bartlett Schroder was born April 13th, 1970 in Brooklyn.
What? He's an Aries and at Brooklyn? That's cool.
Yep. Raised on Staten Island, though.
Oh, that explains
there
a lot.
You go. His parents were Diane and Richard, both former employees of AT&T. As a child, he did like catalog modeling. Adorable.
He's beautiful.
Adorable kid.
Yeah.
And a handsome grown man.
He's a good-looking person. Good-looking human.
Yeah. We're not in denial here. He might be ugly on the inside, but he was very handsome.
And he's aging well, too. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was, did a lot of catalogs.
But is he hot?
But is he hot? That's all that matters. He did a lot of catalogs. He did a lot of like advertising, modeling, stuff like that. He was in like 60 different ads. He made his film debut in The Champ. That was 1979.
Wake up,
Wake up, champ. He became the youngest Golden Globe winner that year for that movie. So he was like 9 years old.
He was really good in that movie. It's a tearjerker, but yeah. Oh, by the way, sorry, Sonia. I interviewed somebody who was the trainer for John Voight in that movie because he was trained John Travolta for Saturday Night Fever. And he said the guy was a wanker.
Yeah, surprise. Yeah. We have an episode on John Voight.
Anyway, continue.
Yes.
I'll shut up.
You are fine. He did a lot of movies in the 70s after the Champ. So it would have been 70s, early 80s. And a lot of tearjerkers. He was really good at crying. He was very good at that. But then he goes on to do Silver Spoons, and that was on for 5 seasons. So 82 to 87, he's on there.
They made 5 seasons out of that show.
I watched Silver Spoons all the time.
Me too. Jason Bateman was on there.
And then Jason Bateman joined, and I was like,
Aaron,
Ricky Schroder, who? Yeah. Aaron Gray.
My brother had a big crush on her.
Yeah. I was all in on Jason Bateman once I saw Jason Bateman. But Anyway, he did Silver Spoons. And then, later he did like Lonesome Dove. Great miniseries if you've never seen it. He was on NYPD Blue for a couple of seasons.
He was great on that.
Yep. And he did start his own production company where he shot like a reality series about like people who were in the army. He did a documentary called The Fighting Season, where he spent like 100 days in Afghanistan and like filmed all these documentaries about army guys and stuff. And good for him, whatever.
That's great.
Yeah, fine. Anyway, enough of his resume. So Schroeder got married in 92 to Andrea Bernard. They have 4 children. That's Holden, Luke, Cambry, and Faith.
Those are cute names, actually. I'm
Cute
gonna
names.
say it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
they
sure they're
all
beautiful.
appeared. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
They are like really, really good looking. He and like all the kids are in it. He was kind of maybe wanting them to be in the business.
I'm sorry, say that
it
again.
Doesn't appear that they
out a little bit.
Oh, sorry, everybody. Just like me, my internet is unstable. They did a TV movie together.
Who did?
It's Ricky Schroder and his kids.
Oh, okay.
Called Our Wild Hearts. I've never seen it, but whatever.
I'm sure it's great.
I'm sure it's adorable. In 2000, he joined the Church of Latter-day Saints because that's what his wife was, a Mormon. But they got divorced in 2016, and now he's super Christian. So he made the switch.
So he's no longer, well, they're Christian, but it's not that Christian. It's a different sect. Is it more
he was Mormon, and now he's Christian.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm trying. There you go. But they are divorced. I want to make it very clear. So in April, they were like he would have been 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. In April 2nd, 2019, he got arrested in Los Angeles for punching his girlfriend in the face.
No.
Nope. He was charged with domestic violence, and then those charges were dropped. He was then arrested again 28 days later. Not the movie, just happened to be 28 days later. Again for domestic violence for punching his girlfriend. And again, didn't press charges. He's currently engaged to an actress named Julie Trammell. They say she's an actress, but I went to IMDb and she is not there. So I did some more Googling, and apparently she was in a stage production of The Sound of Music once. So I guess, yeah. So she's an actress, y'all.
Sure.
I went to her Instagram where she has about 2,000 followers, and you could see pictures of her in the Ricker, like at Mar-a-Lago.
How old is she, and what does she look like?
She's pretty, and
is she blonde?
No, like a dark blonde, like not quite brunette, not really blonde. Also, I would say she's not age inappropriate. Like she might be a little, she might be a little younger than him, but not like gross. Not like gross.
Not like the White House spokesperson whose husband's 36 years older than her.
No. What did somebody referred to her recently as like a Kirkland brand?
Oh, absolutely.
Somebody Timu Barbie.
Timu Barbie. She actually, I'm sorry, gal, we're all over the place today.
Yeah.
She actually, this week, they were talking about, somebody brought up France, and France is like, we want back the Statue of Liberty. Like, no, they don't really want that. But it's just symbolic.
They were joking.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But she's like, well, weren't for Americans, they'd be speaking German right now, which is something her old husband's generation would say. Guys,
yes.
Sorry to say this, Russia helped us win World War II. We would not have won without Russia. Sorry. I wish it wasn't true either. But we wouldn't have fucking won without them.
And if it wasn't for France, we would all be speaking the Queen's English right now. So
exactly. Thank you. And that's a better point.
So, bitch, please.
Bitch, please.
Just be quiet. So, anyway, you could go to their Instagrams. You could see pictures of them like being together and going to Mar-a-Lago and stuff.
So is he hitting
I think
her?
That's all. Huh?
Was he hitting her?
No. Different
girl. Okay.
Yes. He is one of those people that believes Trump won the 2020 election. because of course he does. He's anti-vax because,
So none of his
quote,
kids were.
our bodies are our own.
Yeah.
You know, we get to decide what goes in and what goes out. Understood. That's what he says. Guess what, though? Not pro-choice. Not pro-choice.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting? It's like our bodies are our own. Not you, ladies. Not you.
The body inside your body belongs to somebody else. You can't
That's
control
right.
it. Right. Whatever.
Right. But the real reason I put him on this list, though, is because in November 2020, Ricky Schroder is the one who helped pay the bail for Kyle Rittenhouse. And if you don't know who Kyle Rittenhouse is, boy, are you lucky.
Boy, I fucking envy you.
Yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse is a dickhead, but also a 17-year-old who traveled to a Black Lives Matter protest in Wisconsin with a gun, you know, to protect stores and shit from looting, because that's worth killing people about.
Like they're not insured or something either, people. Like, calm your teas.
Dude just went there to kill people.
Looking for a fight.
Yeah, and he found one, and he murdered 2 people and injured a third, and he was rightfully arrested. And Ricky Schroder was like, I'm outraged. And him and like the MyPillow founder like put up his bail. Good company you're keeping there, Ricker, like, or Rickster, or whatever the fuck nickname he used to go by on Silver Spoons. I can't remember.
I think they called him Richard on NYPD Blue. I think he was no longer, or just
Oh
Rick.
my God,
it might have been Rick.
Maybe it was. Yeah,
Ricky.
Oh my God, it's like the Tony Danza School of Acting, where he just always has to play a character with his own name.
No. I'm saying that he was. No. I'm sorry. He was his stage name's Ricky Schroder, but I think when he was in NYPD Blue, he changed.
Oh
it to Rick
yeah.
Because
he's
a grown man.
I
now.
thought you said on NYPD Blue his character was named Rick. Too.
No, I don't remember his character's name. I just remember there were butts on there. Like they always had Dennis Franz.
Dennis Franz.
My roommate interviewed him, said he was a great guy. Dennis Franz, really nice man.
Adam Risky's a big fan. Dennis Franz.
I'll let him know.
Yeah. So Kyle Rittenhouse gets out on bail thanks to Ricky Schroder and MyPillow guy. He was charged, by the way, for murder, and he was acquitted because murder is legal now in America. Like you can just fucking murder people.
Well, they crucified the reputations of the men that he killed.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, I hate this expression, but I'm not saying that they were perfect or but he brought a gun across the state line to do it because there's different laws in different states. And then
he's underage.
And he's underage. And it's a Black Lives Matter thing. And you're a white man with a gun looking for trouble. So, yeah. And he's an asshole.
That too. Oh, he's such a prick. And he's such a, oh God.
Whiny crybaby.
Crybaby. Exactly. Oh my God. He's such a crybaby. Like he could, one of those MAGAs who like dishes it out and then can't take it when you like give him just the slightest bit pushback. We're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, by the way. Ricky Schroder is also very similar. So he posts that bail. You know, everyone's like, what the fuck, Ricky Schroder? Why are you doing that?
Are you sure you can afford that?
He's like, I'm a big supporter of gun ownership and I'm in the NRA. And he said, it, quote, made me mad. This boy is innocent and he will be proven innocent. And I did what any father should have done. And that's get a kid out of jail that doesn't deserve to be there. Hard pass. He totally deserved to be there and he should still be. So he pays the bail. And then Ricky Schroder's like, I'm getting death threats on social media. So he calls the cops. The cops come to Schroder's house. They go through all of his negative, quote unquote, social media posts. And they're like, these aren't death threats. People just don't like you. I went through some of the posts that he was like, I'm getting death threats. And it was like, someone said, to be honest, I thought he was dead. And then someone else said, this was a racist move, pure and simple. And then my favorite that says, Ricky Schroder can shove that silver spoon right up his own ass. And He's like, I'm getting death threats.
There's a congressman, a Republican congressman, who released voicemails of like and they were death threats for sure. But there was like a bunch of them, and and a bunch of people. It was on Threads, and so all these people were responding. It was more like, "Oh, too bad. What's for dinner tonight?"
Yeah,
that was kind of like
thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers, exactly. Thoughts and prayers to you.
Yeah. So the cops determined there were no credible threats, and that they would monitor the situation, quote unquote. A bunch of celebrities also tweeted, and they were like, "What the fuck, Ricky Schroder? What's wrong with you?" But my favorite was Chad Lowe, who is Rob Lowe's little brother. Chad Lowe also did sitcoms in the 80s.
And Life Goes On. Remember that show? Jesse.
Oh, yeah. And he said, I had a conversation with Ricky Schroder many years ago that makes today's news not surprising at all. Let's just say it was the last time we spoke.
Wow. I wonder how the Lowe brothers get along, because I think Rob is Republican. Like he was friends with the Supreme Court judge that everybody hates.
Kavanaugh?
Yeah. No, not he's probably friends with Kavanaugh too. No, am I thinking of the black
John Roberts?
The black one.
Oh, Thomas.
Clarence Thomas. Sorry.
Thomas.
He's friends with Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
Rob Lowe is friends with Clarence Thomas and doesn't think it's
gross.
I know. This was like 5 years ago. I read this.
You know, I guarantee you Rob Lowe is like, well, I just care about the money and limited government. And then the minute you confront him with actual shit, he's probably like, well, I don't like that. Yeah. I like gay people. I'm cool with that. Yeah, I was in behind the candelabra or whatever the fuck.
That's right. He wasn't behind the candelabra. When that came out, my brother John, he sent a text that said, "Oh my God, I'm so horny." He was watching behind the candelabra. Because Matt Damon and Michael Douglas in a sex scene that is like the most horrible thing to watch.
Yes. Oh my God, we should do that for dorking out.
Oh, we should totally do that for dorking out.
Okay. We'll put it on the list. Okay, so he does all this shit with Kyle Rittenhouse, and we're like, fuck this guy, right? Then May 2021, Schroeder like puts this shit up on his own social media, so hence the link to his own Facebook. He goes to Costco. And he's harassing an employee about the mask mandate
situation.
Like, he's just like
such a burden.
This, first of all, put on a fucking mask.
You have to wear a shirt and shoes as well. You just do.
Yeah. And he's harassing this man who's like, you know, if you go to Costco, and I think a lot of us are going to Costco these days because we're not going to Target, you know, you have to show your Costco card and you know, things like that. And the pandemic was still going on at the time, and they had a mask mandate, and it's to keep people safe. Like, look, if you want to endanger yourself, I don't give a fuck.
No.
But like other people, like deserve to shop without your fucking cooties. So he's harassing this employee, posts the video on his social media with like all of his like fans or whatever. And they're like, you tell him, Ricky, you know, whatever. And I'm like, people who do this shit are the worst, because that employee does not make the rules for Costco.
They don't have the power.
No.
They don't have any power. They have a boss.
You're just being a dickhead.
And if it's a statewide rule, then everybody has to follow it.
Yeah. Just imagine like the thought process for Ricky Schroder was like, I'm going to bully this retail employee about shit they don't have control over, and I'm going to film it, and I'm going to post it on my social media like I've done something awesome. You haven't done anything awesome.
No.
You're being a stupid, ignorant fuck, and you're exposing that man to a lot of bullying that he doesn't deserve.
Right.
Also, you're telling on yourself to everybody else. We all know now who you are. So he got all shitty about it. He tried to implore all of his people to like get a refund from Costco, return your cards, blah, 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 you know. He was totally shitty to that poor employee. A manager came out and like gave him a refund on the spot. She was like, here you go. Bye. Get the fuck out. She doesn't care.
No.
Get the fuck out.
People
Who
love
are you?
Costco, dude.
Yeah, they love Costco. By the way, all these people that were like, I'm boycotting Costco. They're totally not
They're
boycotting
not doing
Costco.
it. No.
So after the incident, then Schroeder's like, hey, I'm real sorry. Like, apologized if he hurt the employees' feelings.
Fuck that. The fuck the feelings crowd.
Fuck you. Like, by the way, and again, like his stunt didn't do shit. I'm sure nobody refunded their cards. Costco's positively rolling in it right now because we've all ditched Target to shop there. So they're fine. But he wasn't really sorry, right? Because he did this, but then just a couple months later, he did it again. He went to like this is not a made up place. The Dwight D. Eisenhower Presidential Library and Museum in Kansas. He went there like you do.
Well,
You know,
it's a museum.
Maybe-
I'd go.
yeah,
If I were
yeah.
in Kansas.
I don't know. I don't know why he's in Kansas, but okay. He goes there, flips out on security guards who ask him to wear a mask. He starts calling them Nazis and that they should only be enforcing God's law. God's law.
God's law. God's plan. God's law.
God's plan. Like it's just, so he's not sorry. He's just going to go do it somewhere
All
else.
right.
I went to all of his social media channels. It's just all like God's law bullshit with some MAGA and transphobic garbage sprinkled in here and there.
Mm.
So you don't need to follow him. I checked for you. There's
Thank you.
nothing good there. Most recently, he is the founding member of the Council on Pornography Reform. I don't know what that
How
is.
do you reform pornography?
I don't know. Is he going to make it better?
Exactly.
Like,
Are they
I
going to
don't
have
know.
plots
But-
now?
Yeah.
Better writing?
I don't know. But apparently, like, he is. I'm trying to figure it out because, and I'm trying to figure it out without clicking on all the links, by the way, because this shit looks fucking spammy and I'm not looking to infect my computer with whatever his pornography reform is. But I think he's interested in making sure that they're not using AI in pornography. And I'm like, but who cares?
Well, no, I think,
Like-
does he mean like a revenge porn or something? Like somebody
Maybe?
can just get your, yeah.
I don't think so. Like, I think it's just, the idea of like not using real people in pornography. I didn't read anything about it being about revenge porn, but also we're not for revenge porn.
No,
obviously.
we're against
we would
that,
like,
just
we,
in case.
yeah, just FYI. And we would also like rules against that sort of thing. But like he's like, hey, I'm on this council of pornography reform. I'm making a documentary. It's called Erotic Erosion. I haven't been able to see anything about it. It's not on IMDb. It's not on Wikipedia. When I Google it, all it comes up is like interviews with him where he mentions it.
Erotic erosion?
Yeah.
That sounds
and
like a
then
New Order album.
I would listen.
Erosion.
Like erosion. But then it's got a hashtag that says, let's tear down Satan's kingdom. And I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh,
I'd be up
Oh.
for tearing down Satan's kingdom. I'd be interested in seeing it.
I guess. I mean, I would need to see it first because maybe it's cool. I don't know. Satan's kingdom is probably a roller coaster, right? It sounds like a roller coaster. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm looking at that project with some serious side eye because of who it's coming from. So that's our little segment on Ricky Schroder.
Rick.
Let's talk about Fred Savage.
What would you do if I sang it? I'm sorry.
So Frederick Aaron Savage, born July 9th, 1976 in Chicago. Yeah, Chicago boy. His parents are Joanne and Louis Savage. They were like real estate brokers. He grew up in Illinois before they moved to Southern California. He's got a younger brother named Ben. I believe Ben is also an actor. And then he's got his sister is like Kayla Savage, and she's like an actress and a musician. I've never seen her in anything, but his brother I definitely have. Fred
They were on
Savage
that show that was
appeared-
on for like 100 years, and then something
Oh my God, he was on Boy Meets
Boy Meets World.
Girl or Boy Meets World.
That
That's
was
what
him.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Fred Savage first showed up in a movie called The Boy Who Could Fly. And then he does a bunch of like like guest spots, right? He's in like Twilight Zones and Crime Story and, things like that. And then he is the grandson in The Princess Bride, where Peter Falk's reading the story.
Such a good
And
movie.
Such a good movie. And like Fred Savage is really good in it. It's a good little part.
They're both great actors. We're not talking about their talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then in 88, he does The Wonder Years. I loved The Wonder Years when it was first on.
My God. I watched every week.
Yep.
I cried my eyes out at the last episode about the dad and all that stuff. Yeah, I was into it.
Yep.
So well.
So
And the parents were so good on that show.
They were so good. I loved Wonder Years, and my parents loved it too. It was a show that like we could all watch together. He was nominated for Golden Globes for that. He was nominated for Emmys. At the age of 13, he was the youngest actor to be nominated for Best Actor, because it's like lead actor, not supporting. So then it turns out, so the show was canceled in 93. And part of the reason it was canceled was Fred Savage, who was then 16, and his co-star Jason Harvey, who was 20, sexually harassed someone who worked in the costume department. Yeah, so she said that they verbally and physically harassed her daily.
I'm just trying to picture what you could get away with in 1993 on a set.
Yes.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I feel bad for that woman.
She complained constantly. It was constantly ignored. Even the actor who played the dad was just like, you should take Fred Savage's virginity, like made her super.
Dan Lauria,
Yes.
no.
No.
Bad
Bad
Dan.
shame.
Bad Dan.
Shame. She was 32 at the time. Like,
imagine some fucking
and you're just like
harassing
gross.
you. Ew.
Yeah.
And he's got power because it's his fucking show.
Yeah, he's the star of the show. So if people are like, he's a kid, she should just tell him to fuck off. He's the star of the show.
Yes.
He
can get her
He's
fired.
the lead. Like, he was constantly pestering her to go on dates with him. He would try to touch her. He'd confess his love to her all the time, tried to get her to have an affair with him. The dad actor says the things he's saying. The Jason Harvey, who apparently is a real piece of work too.
Oh boy.
Also did like more lurid things. I'm going to put that in quotes. They didn't get into details on that, but he also apparently hit her, and he would like simulate sex acts in front of her.
Oh,
like, what a piece
Jason
of shit.
or
Jason did that.
Okay.
Jason did that.
I remember him from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yes,
He's the bratty.
I'm
kid actor.
always ready. Roll. There's a reason he's so good
He's good at playing
dick.
dickheads. Yeah.
So, the network was like, no, she's just a disgruntled employee. Like, they really, really dismissed her. But they did settle out of court with her, and then they canceled the show.
I think they were going to cancel the show anyway, to be honest with you. Those kids are getting older, and that always happens.
That's true. They're getting older. They're getting less cute.
Yeah, they send them off to a college. They all go to the college together, and it never makes sense because everybody goes to different colleges because you don't want to be around these people anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Wonder Years is canceled. Savage moves on to other things. He starts doing the Law and Order Special Victims Unit guest spots. He played the mole in Austin Powers Goldmember. I don't know if you remember that, but he has like a huge mole on his face. And like Austin Powers can't not say anything about his mole. And he's just like, moly, 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 mole, 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 mole.
The best is in Uncle Buck. Buck melanoma, Molly Russell's wart. One of my favorite scenes.
He did a lot of voice work, and then he started directing. So he started directing like Nickelodeon and Disney Channel stuff. So like That's So Raven and Hannah Montana. And then he moves on to like Modern Family and Two Broke Girls. And he's making quite the name for himself directing sitcoms.
Good for him. So did Patsy and Malf.
Yeah, exactly. He goes back to acting in 2015. He does a show called The Grinder. I never watched it.
I know the app. I don't know the show. I don't know the app. I know of the app.
Sure, you don't, Margo. Sure. So he does that show. And then in 2017, the Me Too movement is in full swing, and another costume designer comes out, and her name is Young Hoo Wang. And she comes out and says that Fred Savage like assaulted her, intimidated her, filed a complaint against him, including assault, battery, and discrimination. He denies it. She says that he would routinely yell at her, curse at her, demean her. And she's like, I was just trying to do my job.
You don't.
That's what she said.
You don't have to do that at your job. You don't have to demean
Yeah.
people. You don't have to yell at them. You have to curse at them.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, she said that he hit her 3 times.
What?
Yeah. In the arm, apparently, not in the
but
face.
hitting is hitting.
But also, we don't hit people.
No, don't
Like,
touch people.
Yeah, she was just trying. One time, she was just trying to
Don't pay me
like
no
brush
mind and keep your hands to yourself.
yourself. Yes, she's trying to like brush some dandruff or something off his suit, and he like got really aggressive with her. Like his temper went up. She said that he was really shitty to the female crew in general, and that he was constantly yelling profanities at the female employees.
What
Fox
the fuck,
did an
asshole? I need my coffee.
Yeah. I need it. I'm Fred Savage. I'm Fred fucking Savage.
What are you, an R-word? What?
Yeah.
I can picture
Fox was like, he didn't do anything. They totally, were like, he's fine. We did an investigation. I'm gonna put that shit in quotes. And then he issued a statement that says like along the lines of her coming out and saying these things is undermining all the women who are really
the
impacted by
victims.
this.
I know this is what
Yes.
Justin Baldoni's bots are doing that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah.
fucking assholes, by the way.
It's the same.
Hi, if you're there. Hi, if
Yeah.
that's you.
Yeah, so he says, I cannot let these people in particular denigrate me while harming the message of thousands of women and others who have suffered and continue to suffer.
Fuck off. Don't speak for us.
Yeah, you don't speak for us, Fred Savage. And super glad that he wants to support all the people who feel like they're being mistreated to come forward, because in 2021, Fred Savage is now the executive producer of a Wonder Years reboot that they were going to be doing.
Right. It was filmed in Atlanta.
That's right.
With the Black family,
and
yeah.
Yes. He was then fired for inappropriate conduct. He was known to tell me if any of these things sound familiar. He would intimidate, bully, and torment female crew members while they were doing their jobs. Surprise! Like the things that all the other women were saying, he was doing those things. One of the women, because 6 women came forward. They did an interview also with the Hollywood Reporter, and they said that they would see 2 different sides of Fred Savage, that he would like seem very caring and he was very charismatic and very supportive. And then sometimes they said that he would just flip in an instant and his eyes would go dead.
Ew.
Isn't that awful?
That's
it's an
awful.
awful way to it's an awful way to describe someone. They said that he would only do he wouldn't do that in front of like other actors or executives, that it was like his absolute like best self. And then like any like employee who doesn't have power would see this totally different Fred Savage.
I've had bosses like that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have also had bosses like that. So one woman said that Savage took her to dinner. He was married, by the way, at the time.
Oh, who's the lucky gal?
I think he's actually, they're still married. He's married to Jennifer Lynn Stone. They've been married since 2024. They have 3 kids together.
Well,
so one of the women said that he took her to dinner. He was trying to like help her with her writing career. He even met her parents, and that he would like offer her expensive gifts, and that she would decline them and things like that. And he invited her to like go to a dinner with a bunch of Wonder Years colleagues. She got up and was using the restroom, and he entered the restroom while she was walking out, pushed her into a stall, and he had the dead eyes, and he started trying to kiss her and like grab on her, and that she said like she had to shoulder check him to get out. Like,
oh
like,
God.
that shit is fucking scary.
Hey, babe, I just took a pee and now I'm super horny. Come in here.
It's so gross.
It's so hot,
gross.
Sonia, when a guy just busts through a bathroom door when you're just done number 2. And you just want to wash your hands and get on with your life.
So nasty.
Ew.
And then so she, pushes past him. She leaves. He texts her that night and asks her to come to his house. She showed all these texts to Hollywood Reporter, by the way. And she needed this person for work, so she's like, I tried to remain neutral and I laughed it off like, haha, have a good night. No.
Right, which we've all done.
Which we've all done.
Know how fucking crazy and mean and
Yes.
how violent somebody is at the drop of a hat, which happens all the time.
Yeah. She said, I was honestly scared of him for the first time.
I would be too. I am now too.
Yeah. She said that he continued to text and call for a couple of weeks, asking to meet. One time he just sent the word tonight. Like, it's going to happen tonight, which obviously is terrifying. She said for weeks she didn't hear from him, and then he sent a voicemail. He left a voicemail, I should say, and she played it for the Hollywood Reporter, and it says, "It's your old friend Fred. We've worked together for a while, and then we didn't, and then I was a huge asshole, and I'm really sorry, and I kind of owed you an apology for a minute here, and so the truth is I really like you, and I want to be friends. And I'm so sorry that I fucked up."
All right. Okay, it's an apology. It's an acknowledgement of bad behavior. I would like, you need to actually state what that behavior is. It's really not okay. Seriously, you should just say that, not just, if I did anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
if I did anything that makes you uncomfortable, sorry. It's just because I really like you.
It's because I'm so attracted to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You just look how crazy you make me.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I've heard that line before.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. There was apparently also a younger crew member that Savage was pursuing on the set as well. She declined to speak to the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah, because she wants to protect her career because, she's afraid that what he's gonna say.
Yeah, but one of the other women who spoke up said that he was very controlling of that woman's daily behaviors. He was manipulative. He was erratic. They all feel very protective of her, and it's the reason a lot of them decided to finally speak up.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? It's not like Hollywood is banging down your door. It's not like you have this huge movie career or you have a huge show. I mean, you know what I mean? It's a big opportunity you're given to take the brand and put it in a new way. Why not just focus on the fucking work? My whole point.
You're not, these people think they're so fucking special. And it's you're not. You're replaceable, dude. Fred Savage, you are replaceable.
It's like Weehan on Below Deck Down Under.
Yes.
Who treats the women on there like he's on Love Island. And he's deciding who he wants to sleep with and who's not good enough for him. And it's
God,
we're just fucking working here. Just let us work. The entitlement.
These women are just trying to work, and he is harassing them.
Ugh.
So, 20th Century Television did their own investigation and fired him because they
probably had some real shit. Yeah.
They found some real shit. I think that this lends a lot more credibility to the women who spoke up before.
Of course. I believe them.
Yes. And, the costume designer from The Grinder, they reached out for a quote from her, and she said this was a long time coming, and I am not the least bit surprised.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then he releases a statement that says, since I was 6 years old, I have worked on hundreds of sets with thousands of people, and I always strive to contribute in an inclusive, safe, and supportive work environment.
Sure, Jan.
Yeah. It's devastating to learn that there were coworkers who feel I have fallen short of these goals.
Once again, state explicitly what you did wrong. That is a huge part of the apology.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are some incidents being reported that absolutely did not and could not have happened. Why could they not have happened? I wonder. Any one person who feels hurt or offended by my actions is one person too many. I'm sorry you're offended by my actions. But he's not sorry for his actions.
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
I'm sorry I put you in
Sorry.
an uncomfortable position
Yes.
by my behavior. Boom. And state
Yep.
the behavior. Boom.
Yep. Nope. He doesn't know how to
Communications pro.
apologize.
That's free advice I'm giving you. 20 plus years of experience,
You're-
yo.
You're welcome, Fred Savage.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you're a Fred Savage type out there, this is your problem. Let me tell you right now. State
Say
what
you're
it
really
did.
sorry.
Say you're sorry. State what you did, what was wrong. State why it was inappropriate. And then say what you're going to do to not do it forward. Not just say, I'm going to try to not do that. No. What are you going to actually do? And then that's all you need to say.
Yeah, that's it. And that's
then-
our creep, Fred Savage.
Sonia, good job. Good job. Boy, that
Thank
makes
you.
me mad.
Yep. We don't like it when people don't take accountability for their actions.
That's the thing. Just take some fucking accountability. Okay, Sonia, I can't see you because, let me see. Can I do that?
I disappeared.
You did. Yeah. How do I get you to be in the corner while I do this? Maybe that's.
Nobody puts Sonia in a corner.
I'm putting Sonia in the corner. Y'all watch me. It's not doing it. Oh, it's doing it now. Okay.
Okay.
So, Sonia, something that recently happened. Business books, sometimes, especially when there's somebody that's a whistleblower type of person that they're coming in to say, this is the real shit that happened. In book publishing, and I'm an author, it takes months, years to get a book together, right? It's a lot of fucking work and and it's a slow process. And it's amazing when a book can come out and nobody knew about it. There's a lot of trust that has to happen there. And there's a woman, Sarah Wynn Williams, who wrote a book about her time at Facebook. She's from New Zealand, and she wrote a book, and it's called Careless People. And I tell Sonia, all I've been hearing is careless whisper in my head ever since I started with dee-dee-dee-doo, dee-dee-doo. I'm going to do the saxophone for it.
Love that
It's a
song.
good song. George
So
Michael, R.I.P.
I know.
She started in 2011. She's from New Zealand, and she was the public policy director at Facebook. And the book is called Careless People. She worked there for 6 years, and then she was let go because she was complaining a lot about the behavior of her direct boss, and then also Sheryl Sandberg and Mark Zuckerberg for being unprofessional. And we all kind of wondered about what those people are like. And I don't know about you. I was one of those women that was like, I gave a lot of side eye to Sheryl Sandberg and her whole, lean in. I just was like, honey, please lean in for that one seat at the table versus, but okay.
Right. That's my seat.
That's mine. I'm just be that one girl to be at the table. That's what you got to work for. So you all know what Facebook is. And Facebook is a company that started by a man who was trying to rate girls at Harvard College.
Yes.
And that was like how the site read. So that's the level of mentality that we have with our CEO, Mark Zuckerberg. In 2011, let's think back. Obama's in office.
Mm-hmm.
And Obama's in office. Like, can we just remember, at least it was calm then, y'all. Come on. You remember that.
Yeah, I know. There were literal whole days where I didn't think about the government.
I didn't have to check the news. I know. So she's in a role. It's an international role. The thing with Facebook is that they're always trying to get more people to sign up for Facebook. And then they want you to sign up and they want you to use it so that they have all this data on you that they can mine and then they can sell to people for ads, or governments around the world that want to, I don't know, control elections that are happening in their area. So Sarah she came from Google, which had its own kind of nightmare stuff, but she petitioned to work for Facebook. Like she really, she wooed them. She went out there like, I want to work for you. You need somebody like me. I will get you in front of all these world leaders because they want to go, tough places are like China. There's just certain sections of the world where they don't have free internet or it's not widely available. And so she was working with these countries to provide this, right? So they had something where they're going to provide free internet.org to people around the world. And they're saying,
Also,
go ahead.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sipping water. You go ahead.
Okay. A lot of countries have different privacy laws as
Right.
well. So like
Sonya's the tech person, by the way.
so like
You more than
no,
me.
but I have done some work about this at where I work too.
Mhm.
Like there are different countries have different privacy laws, have different laws surrounding how you can handle people's data and what you can share and not share and things like that. And so if you're Facebook and you have a law that say maybe works for the United States, it's probably not going to work for China. And then it's like you have to come up with like a whole new set of there literally are different versions of Facebook like all over the world.
Right.
And they needed someone like her to help them navigate how to build those relationships
Yeah,
with
exactly.
these governments. She was someone who worked in the New Zealand embassy. She had experience working with different forms of government. So they needed that. And it's tech, especially these kinds of companies that are all over the world. They need stuff like this.
Right. And so that was her whole thing, was like, I know how to get in front of these people. I will get them in front of you. And then you have to think about, like you said, the privacy laws for every region. And especially, they started really realizing that elections were being influenced by Facebook. And so some countries don't like that and wanted to put a lid on that. And America tried to put a lid on that. But Mark is always looking for Mark and Cheryl and all of them. Their whole dictate is to get more people to sign up for Facebook, right? And they'll buy the competition if they have to, but that's all they want. They just want to get people on. So they would promise countries, we will put the internet in and we will do it to your specifications and we'll do everything for you. And she'd be working in these moments, and I know how she feels. And if you're listening, Sarah, I know how you feel. I know how this feels when you're working on something very delicate for a long time, and then it's getting right to the point where you're going to sign on the dotted line, and then somebody goes, wait a second, does that mean we can't do blah, blah, blah? Well, tell them that to take that out. And it's like, fuck you. We watched this system months to put together. Like, people have no idea all the work you put into something, and they just want to change it on a whim.
Yeah. Yes.
So she travels with Cheryl and Mark, and she talks about the time that let me just say that she's our not creep, and also because they're trying to get you to not read this book. And there are a lot of stories right now where Facebook successfully sued the Macmillan Publishing so that she cannot promote her book anywhere. So she's not doing any interviews. She can't post on Facebook. She can't post on any social media. And she can't, I don't think anywhere around the world she can do it. So they're essentially by the way, Meta is always going on about how they're about free speech, and they just want to do they don't want to fact check articles on their site. They don't want to like look into like fake elections and fake stuff. They don't give a shit about that. But all of a sudden they give a shit about it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they don't want you to get your hands on a book.
Same stuff with our administration right now.
Right.
We're blocking people from coming into the country because they maybe have said something shitty about Predator Trump on their social media. And it's like, oh, I thought we were all about free speech.
Exactly.
And literally putting out lists of words we're not allowed to use at our companies. And like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, here we are.
And during her time there, she worked with Sheryl Sandberg, and Sheryl Sandberg had a book that came out. It was in 2013. It was a huge hit. For some reason, people could not stop talking about this fucking book. But it was called Lean In. And Sheryl is a very accomplished woman. She went to, I was listening to by Chelsea Devantez, Divine Trash, is that the name of her podcast? I'll look it up when we're done. But Chelsea Devantez, just look up Chelsea Devantez, and she was talking about this today. That this book is all about Sheryl Sandberg is a very unusual person. She grew up in a very privileged life. She attended Harvard twice. She married well. She married somebody who works at the companies. She worked at Google. Then she gets to Facebook. And she's just zooming up the corporate ladder. Mm-hmm. And her lean in is the message, I think, is that women need to make themselves more visible in the environment. But how do you do that when they don't want to see you, right? When they only want to see this little part of you. And she doesn't really answer that question. But Cheryl was always talking about also that the problem that women being parents and being workers is being a mother and a worker are very difficult things to manage. And it shouldn't be. We should make it easier for moms to be able to work so the kids can know that a mother can support her family and all this stuff. But the however is Sarah Wynn Williams, when she was pregnant, they were not very nice about her time off. Up to the point that she was in labor with her first child, she had her laptop open on her belly, and the doctors had to take it out of her cold, dead hands, basically.
It's ridiculous.
She was getting emails as she broke water, and she's in the hospital, and she's pushing out a baby, and they're emailing her and demanding that she give bullet points for somebody that's going to meet another person in another country. And we had conversations about this off the air about, women and working. And when a woman has a baby, she has to worry about, do I still have a job? Will I still have, will I have the chance at promotions? Will I be taken seriously? Will I have time for my kid? Or am I going to be in my car all the time driving everywhere and it's going to be up to nannies? A nanny they can't even really afford. So they say that Cheryl says that she's about women, but she's really about Cheryl. And Cheryl's a real odd duck from what I can understand. She tells the story about they were on a private jet, and the jet had, they were flying somewhere, and there's a group of them, and it had a bed in there so that if anybody wanted to take a nap, you could just go in there and take a nap. And Cheryl went in there to lounge on the bed, and she asked Sarah, who is pregnant, I don't know if this was her first kid or second kid, but she was pregnant again, and she said, "Hey, come lay on the bed with me. Let's snuggle." And Sarah was like, "I really don't want to lay in the bed with you. I'm super pregnant. I won't be able to get up again. It's very uncomfortable for me to get in and out of bed." And she said Cheryl just gave her the iciest look and then walked by her and said, "You should have gone into the bed." And then just walked away. Like,
fuck off.
Fuck off. She didn't get to take as much. And this is another thing, like women, you want to take time off to have your baby and be a mother for 2 months that you get here in America? And they were getting on her.
Nothing.
It's nothing. And women have to worry about, when I come back, will I still have a job once again? Will they make accounting for me? Which men don't worry about.
And also, being pregnant and having a baby takes its toll on you physically. It's a huge fucking deal. Where it's natural. It is natural, but it's still a huge fucking deal. It destroys your brain and your body.
Right.
Maternity leave is for you to take care of this tiny human, but it's also for you to recover because your hormones are out of whack. Your body is not the same. Your hormone, it's just everything is all over the place. It's hard to work. And I have this friend who told me, she's like, just remember your job won't love you back.
Yes,
and
I've heard that too.
People, I think maybe, and it might have come from Brene Brown, I don't know, but you want to do a good job. You want to be taken seriously. You want to make sure that you're still going to have a job when you come back. So that's why she's making bullet points for people as she's in labor to show I'm serious. You can depend on me.
Right.
I'm a good employee. Please don't fill my position while I'm gone. Even though legally you're protected, it doesn't matter. They could still replace you.
Yeah.
Not legally, quote unquote.
No, but they can make you really uncomfortable. They could put somebody else in the job you did have and then put you on a shitty job and wait for you to cry and then quit.
Yes.
Yeah. They just make you so miserable that you want to quit.
Yes.
In addition to dealing with Cheryl, and Cheryl has like there's a whole thing where she talks about Cheryl has one of her employees gives her the company credit card and tells her to go out and buy lingerie. And they bought like $12,000 worth of lingerie. And they were like, it's very odd. Like, what the fuck are you actually doing, woman?
Dude, just do your own shopping. What are you doing?
I mean, there's another great story is, I don't know if you got to this because I finished the book. I listened to it on Spotify. Definitely.
No, I'm the world's slowest reader.
Did you read about the Global Organ Donation Initiative?
No, I haven't got that far yet.
That's one of the things Cheryl wanted to do was that she wanted to be able, if you wanted to donate your organs, you can go to Facebook and you can just directly donate your organs to somebody, which is the dumbest idea I've heard in my fucking life. I just don't understand it. And it's one of those things like you've ever had a boss.
Do you put it on Marketplace? Do you put it on Marketplace?
I
Like
think
one
it's
kidney
I'm not kidding you.
available.
And they tried to explain to her like, different countries around the world have different rules about things. Like you're not supposed to be able to sell your body parts, your kidneys and stuff. It's also, do you like, and so Sandberg, when they said to her, like, there's actually the real fear of like organ harvesting and trafficking.
Yes.
Like there's like,
yes, this is a thing.
It's a thing. And so she said that Sandberg said, do you mean to tell me if my 4-year-old was dying and the only one that would save her kidney, the only way to save their kidney that was I couldn't fly to Mexico and get a new one and just put it in my handbag? And they said, no, you can't do that. That's actually illegal. You're putting a heart in your purse and your Coach clutch?
She sounds like the mom.
She sounds like what? Uh-oh, Sonia.
I'm here.
Say that again. I missed you.
She sounds like the mom from Arrested Development, is what she sounds like. Like, how much can milk cost?
Right.
$10? Like, she clueless.
And so they said, well, we could put like a button on the site and says, if you'd like to be an organ donation person, if you want to donate your organs, here are here are the places you can go in the country that you live in. You don't have to fly to Mexico to put a kidney in your purse. You can just, So, but she thought and I don't know if you've ever also had a boss that like gave you this really weird dictate. Like, can you see if you can make this happen? And it's like the dumbest fucking idea. And you can't tell them it's the dumbest fucking idea. You really want to,
yeah,
but you can't. So then they get madder and madder at you because you're not giving them the answer that they want to hear. And it's so fucking frustrating. And it seems like that's what she was putting up with. And it's a lot of, long hours away. There's also like, there's just, she had she accused a male superior of hers or direct report that she had to report to directly, of sexual harassment. And they did some investigating and decided that's not what was really happening. And they decided that she must be kind of a pain in the ass. And so she thinks that.
Yeah, it's always the lady's fault.
Right.
It's the lady's fault.
Meta claimed that the investigation, this is from Rolling Stone, Meta claimed that the investigation into the Wynn Williams harassment claims was thorough and took longer than the average case. Yeah, I bet. Involving a review of all the documents she provided and 17 witness interviews. I somehow don't believe. They also, they wanted to do all kinds of things in China to make it easier for the Chinese government, and then was explained to them, like, you could literally get people killed in China if you do the things that they're telling you to do in order to be in China. Like, you cannot do these. It will cause real harm. And they didn't fucking care because they just want those numbers. They were told.
Yeah, I mean, look what he's doing now. He don't give a fuck.
Doesn't give a flying fuck. Anyway, this book is great. It's available. Get it from your library. Get it on the Libby app. Or if you have, Audible, or if you have Spotify, if you can get a subscription. This is my whole point. I want you to get this book because they don't want you to have it. And it's not because she didn't do due diligence. I guarantee her publisher really worked overtime to make sure that they dotted their I's and crossed the T's and made sure.
Yeah, they don't want to be sued by Facebook.
No one wants to be sued by a billionaire. Like, no one wants this. But I'm saying if they went through all this trouble to have her, they did their research themselves. They absolutely put somebody in charge of that, and they made sure. So this is the deal right now, y'all. They don't want you to read her book. So I say to do the not creepy thing this week is to, even if you don't, just say on your social media, I can't wait to read Careless People by Sarah Wynn Williams. And I hope you do too. I want them to know that they can't bully people. It's not going to stop people. They're so fucking dumb. When you ban somebody from doing something, that's all they want to fucking do. When my parents said, you can't watch Three's Company because it's too racy, guess what I wanted to watch? Three's Company.
Yep.
With Mr.
The minute
Brody.
I tell Calvin he can't have something, he wants it so bad.
It's the only thing he can fucking think about until he gets it. Yes.
Yes.
And it's natural and it's normal and it's fine. That's all I'm going to say. Sarah Wynn Williams, she is our not creep this week, and her book is actually really well written. And she does her own audiobook.
I downloaded it. Yeah.
And I think she did a great job with it. She's a good storyteller. She really knows how to paint the picture.
Yep.
And I admire it. And so that's our not creep this week.
Great choice. I downloaded that book on my iPad through like Apple Books.
Yes. And
super easy.
Super easy. Go to your library, get the Libby app, and at least request it on the Libby app. Just do that.
Yeah.
So that
they download the sample.
Download the sample. Like whatever we do, just make sure people are out there. And it is a bestseller, but like make sure it continues to be a bestseller, because this is the only way we fight. This is the only way we win, is when we can do things like this that they can't control.
Yep. I love it.
All right.
Good pick.
Thank you. Well, if you like the sound of our voices, and by golly, why wouldn't you at this point? Sonia and I co-host a show called Dorking Out, where we dork out about movies. What did we dork out about last time?
Oh my God, what did we dork out? Postcards from the Edge.
Thank you. Postcards from the Edge. Great movie. It was a fun episode. Yes. This week, we are doing Primal Fear.
Back to our 90s thrillers.
90s thrillers. I saw it was streaming on Paramount, and I was like, I want to see this movie tonight. I needed like something to like change my mood. And so it's Richard Gere, Edward Norton's first movie.
Yep.
Amazing. I just watched it again the other night. It was really good. So we can't wait to talk about that.
I can't wait to talk about it. Everyone knows I love my 90s thrillers. So actually, I love my 80s and 90s thrillers. But boy, this one's going to be fun.
It's super fun. You can reach out to us. Reach out to us at all those places I mentioned at the top of the show for your suggestions for creeps and or non-creeps, or if you just want to say hi. We love it when you use the Annie Potts gift. We got one from Ghostbusters, or you can just be clever and do something on your own. Our email, once again, is whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com. And if you would like some stickers, I'm supposed to get a new batch from Death by Stickers that's supposed to arrive soon. I will drop them in the mail for you. Whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Sonia, where can they find you?
You can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Facebook and Instagram.
I know.
But barely at those places. I'm mostly on Blue Sky and TikTok. And again, at the website. You can always find me on the website. Where can people find you, my friend?
You can find me at brooklynfitchick.com. I'm at brooklynfitchick for Threads and Instagram. Yeah, I know how that sounds. Look, we're content creators. We have to promote our work somewhere, y'all.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. We are thinking about it. We are working on it. I'm at Brooklyn Margot for TikTok and also for Blue Sky. And then you could follow me on the YouTube at my name, Margot Donahue. I have a book coming out later this year, and I've been posting really fun clips about Saturday Night Fever on there.
Nice.
So
they're fun.
They're fun. Come check it out. Have a good time. All right, everybody. That's the show for you today. Thank you once again for dropping by, or welcome if this is your first time. We liked having you here. We'll be back next week with a new episode. So in the meantime, y'all, please be kind, be safe. Just don't be a creep.
Be a creep.
Thank you for listening to us talk about creeps. You can follow us at What a Creep Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
But don't follow us too closely.
You can email us your creepy stories at whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com.
But please keep your dick pics to yourself.